All right, welcome back to the channel. So today's topic is trapping. Been a lot of discussion on social media with Dave Owens and the Wild Turkey Report and people like that about saving the poults. So I'm trying to do my part. I started about 2 years ago. This is my third season trapping. Started off just for when I first started, I only did it for a couple weeks. Got like 13 raccoons and about 10 possums. Last year I got about 33 raccoons and 28 possums. So I started a little bit earlier last year, started at the beginning of February. The trapping season here goes from December 1st to March 1st. But I had to wait till deer season's over at the beginning of January to really start. So I started even earlier this year, 2021. Started like the first week of January. So we're, a good 4 or 5 weeks into it now. Now this right here, this coon right here, marks number 50 for the season. So it's a big kind of a milestone, if you will. So 50 already, and I got another 3 to 4 weeks left in trapping season. So this takes quite a bit of effort to get them to set the traps and check the traps daily, and just riding around your property. Now, in this case of this hunting lease I've been on for about 10 years, it's almost 3,600 acres altogether. So it takes me a good hour and a half, 2 hours to check this whole property. So it takes some effort, but it's well worth it. If you have any interest in getting your turkey population or helping your turkey population and the poults, from all these nest robbers, this is the way to go. I've already seen some improvement in the turkey numbers. Guys in the club are saying they're seeing more turkeys than usual, and so I'm really glad we were able to start trapping now. And I pushed for this years ago when I was first in this club. Well, when I was in this club 3 or 4 years, and the board members there said, "Oh no, we got plenty of turkeys." Well, yeah, at the time in 2012, the numbers were pretty good. But then it's like everywhere else in the Southeast, it kind of dropped off. I still have plenty of chances on this lease, but a little bit harder to find them at times. So some years, last year was pretty tough, but they were here though, and I just didn't have that much luck with them. But anyway, so I'm on the board now. So I was able to kind of push for trapping and buy some traps and bait. Also got coyote traps out. I'm trying my best with them, but they're proving to be pretty hard to learn. Luckily, coon trapping and possum trapping is not hard at all. These DP traps really catch them no problem at all. So what I like to do is an earth set like this one. Sometimes I'll put them in the earth right there where I know there's water. So there's a culvert right here. Right there you see the culvert and the edge of a swamp. So this is a road that they'll tend to walk. So this is a pretty good spot. Now I've actually had this one here for over a week and I finally caught one. But I have traps up all along the roads, where obvious game trails are, where bridges cross canals, and the canals that drain swamps like this on timber company land. So those are always good spots where you see, where you see raccoon tracks in a game trail or in the mud, in the roads. Those are probably really good spots to put them. I like bridges the best. They seem to be, they're going to take the path of least resistance like most critters do. So this is a good one. I'm going to continue on. This is only my third trap. I got several more to go. That's another thing too, try to get as many as you can set up. I got over 20 DP traps. I got several coyote traps. Like I said, I haven't had any luck with those yet. I'm hoping I will soon. I'm trying different types of sets, dirt hole sets, flat sets. I'll get the hang of it eventually, but it's proven to be kind of difficult. So this is an example of a game trail where I put a trap. You can kind of see it, it cuts right through here, comes down here, crosses the road. going on to the other side or come down this road. You know, sometimes there's corn piles down here. Of course, there's a deer stand right there. You can kind of see it right there. You know, so they had corn out here in deer season, so this would be a good spot to put it. Now, it's actually the first thing we've caught on this trap, and it's been here about a little over a week. So it's a possum. Possum number 25. Just dispatched raccoon number 50. So we're doing pretty well this season. Quite happy with the progress. I wake up Mr. Possum here. They love to play dead. It's like probably heard before, but possums, you see, they really don't tear up the surroundings much at all. Raccoons will go nuts. They'll tear up everything around it, just like a coyote would. You know, they'll make basically a big dirt hole. You know, they'll gnaw on the trees and the branches if there's anything around it, and just go for everything around it to get loose, except for what's actually anchoring them to the ground. So this is where I'll use we'll use, like, you know, earth anchors like I did back there with that raccoon. But also, you can see here, I got, well, here we use some like old swing set chain and wrapped it around the tree and use some wire to kind of secure this particular trap. You can do that. That's obviously a way to go about it. I also use that kind of baling wire right there that you saw, and you know, 16 gauge, double up 16 gauge. You know, two different loops around a small tree like that will hold them back. Just make sure you wrap the baling wire, that wire, really well, and don't, so if they end up tugging up on where you twisted it, you know, it doesn't come undone. I've actually lost a few traps this season because of that, and I use earth anchors too. Somehow one got loose. Got the earth anchor undone. I don't know how, but that happens. And so that's what I try to do, use earth anchor sets, tree sets, if you want to call them that, with wire. And you secure your traps to that. That works. Sometimes it can be a little sketchy. Just make sure you get the wire good and strong. You know, use a heavier gauge wire if you need to, like 12 gauge. And you'll have no problem holding them back, you know. But sometimes they get loose and run off with your trap, which is no fun. That's about it. I'll show you how I kind of set a trap next. So how do you set a trap? So these are I think PC Outdoors. Yep, PCS Outdoors traps. Yeah, they're cast traps, which are pretty nice actually. Better than the welded tube ones you see like Duke's has and Fleming's has. But these work really good. I don't know how I'm gonna do this with one hand, but anyway, what you do, you get the setting tool like this, like these setting tools right here, and just put them right here like so, and then with that leverage point right there, you can push down the spring like so, and the dog will drop. So then you can set your dog and you're good to go. So I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. So that's how it looks once the dog is set. You know, what I do is I'll put a little bit of sardines down at the bottom under the trigger, or that's basically the trigger or the dog. Sardines under the trigger, and then put Meow Mix dry cat food on top of that, just enough to cover the trigger. So then maybe a little bit of sardines on top of that. So no more than half a sardine. That's all you need, and that's all the cat food you need. Now, other people use little marshmallows and a cherry on top. The Panola Productions guys to do that. It works. A lot of different things work. I like this combination. Meow Mix cat food, dry cat food like this is, you know, the original brand, original mix. You know, 18-pound bag for 12 bucks at Walmart. So it's pretty cheap. Sardines, this type of sardines, and these are the name brand, Beach Cliff sardines and soybean oil. And those are, you get those in the 3-pack at Walmart. They're pretty cheap. if there's the Walmart brand in soybean oil, then get that. And it's a little bit cheaper, but these are actually pretty cheap when you get them in the 3-pack. So it's a pretty cheap way of baiting. Get the good fishy, stinky smell. And of course, when I break open one of these sardine cans, I'll squeeze the juice on the dried cat food, give it a little extra scent. You can actually buy fish oil that you can spray on or squirt on there. That works pretty good too, I think. Don't forget to get your setting tool, put it back in your bucket or whatever so you don't lose it. That's why that's orange. But that's how I do it. I'll mix dry cat food, soybeans, and sardines and soybean oil seems to be the best combination for me. And it works quite well. Like I said earlier, in 5 weeks now, we got 50 coons and 25 possums. So doing pretty well with that combination. Check this out. This coon is up in the hollow of this tree. Wow. Kind of smart, really. Good place to hide. Here's an extra clip I had that talks about good places to put traps. So another thing I like to do, where I like to put traps, is like here in this timber company land, they have all these canals everywhere to drain the swamps out, like drain all that out back there. Of course, that's where like turkeys like to be too. So wherever you find a bridge like this, great place to put a trap, because they're gonna follow the path of least resistance to get across bodies of water like canals. So I think I just caught one right here. It's probably the 4th coon I've had on this set right here in about a week and a half. So pretty good. So yeah, look for this. Look for bridges like this, edges of swamps, and obvious game trails, especially if it's near a swamp or crossing a road or something like that. You know, that's where I put them to. And too close to water, that's even better. So that's typically what I look for. Of course, also another big thing is all throughout this hunting lease, there's deer stands, and we're allowed to bait them with corn during deer season. So I get a lot of intel from the deer hunters about where they're seeing where they're getting a lot of coons on their corn piles. You know, I'll try to go there and set some traps up, because there's a good chance that the coons will come back through there, even if there's not a whole lot of corn left or any corn left. So that's always been good spots too. So where they're used to coming to get corn, put some traps there, and you'll get a few there too as well. One tip I have is using these Z caps for DP traps. They're metal white caps that you put on top of your DP trap. It's really easy for coons and possums to take them off. They do 3 things for you as well. Kind of a bait saver to keep mice and birds out of them and other things like that. Also keeps rain out of them a little bit. I do have a couple of holes on them, but that's one other benefit. And third, maybe one of the biggest things as well, is it gives you a visual cue to see if something's actually tried to get into your trap or not. So if it hasn't, if it's still on there and intact, you just move on and keep on trucking to your next set. So it's one tip I have for this year that I found out this year. And thanks for watching.